Welcome back to Real Talk with Uncle D. I'm your guy, Uncle D. As usual, I'm out getting it in, trying to get those steps in. I wanted to talk to you today. I had someone hit me up and ask me a question. What is the difference between confidence, cockiness, and swagger? Well, let's break that down. Let's start with cockiness. Cockiness is usually a little more boisterous. It's you self-promoting, if you will, yourself, your ability, what you can or cannot do at the expense, typically, of someone else. I'm better than you. I got this. I'll dunk on you. I'll run over you. I make more money than you. I do, it's typically along those lines. Now, it's not to say that that person who is saying that can't do those things or doesn't have that ability to do those things. But that cockiness tends to come as a self-promote. They're promoting themselves and their ability rather than allowing others to just see it. So that's how we'll segue into confidence. Confidence is typically someone who really knows what they're talking about, what they're doing, where they're going, what they're trying to accomplish. Confidence is that you truly believe in your skill set, regardless of what it is. And that confidence, I'll speak on my own behalf on this situation. I pride myself in being confident in a lot of areas. Why? Number one, because of my experience in life. Number two, because of the skill set I have been able to achieve through those experiences. Whether it's physical, verbal, you name it. Once you have accomplished and achieved a set of skills, it just becomes a part of you. I don't have to self-promote that. It'll walk before me. I can walk into a room and that era will precede me. And I don't have to self-promote that. Now, I'm not saying that we as, say, business people do not promote ourselves. Of course we do. Everything is a self-market. We're trying to market ourselves in one way or another. But I don't have to say, hey, look, I'm the shit. Hey, look, I'm that man. Hey, look, I don't have to do that. Now I can say, hey, yes, I can do that. And yes, here is maybe an example of my work, or if I'm engaged in a certain conversation or task, I can do that confidently and allow others to promote me. It's one to where the confidence that I have allows me to walk upright. It allows me to look people in their face when I speak to them. It allows me to shake someone's hand firmly without trying to be overly aggressive. But yet, that confidence that you have in yourself, men and women, it will precede you. Now, Swagger. Swagger is something that you either have or you don't. Um, Swagger can be attached to both. Now, you can be a cocky son of a you know what, but you have swagger about yourself, and all that is just your demeanor. Your demeanor. So, if you're an overly cocky person and you are, again, very boisterous about what you can and cannot do, you can tend to pop your collar and smack your lips and, do the physical traits that come along with the, I'm that one. Now then there's that different type of swagger. And that's that swagger where, again, I can walk into a room suited and booted and be the quietest one in the room. But that swag is so on point that everybody is like, damn, who is that? Why? Because I walked as if I'm supposed to be in that room. I walk and act as if I am that dude. And now we segue really quickly over to the act as if. And sometimes we may be on a journey, and what I mean is we are trying to accomplish things, or we're trying to get ourselves into certain circles, or to be around certain type of people, or we are trying to align ourselves into a certain area of business or whatever it may be. I tell people all the time, act as if. First and foremost, learn as much as you can about the road you're about to travel. Learn as much as you can about the class you're about to take. Learn as much as you can about the job you're looking to try to get. Learn as much as you can about the situation at hand. And it could be anything and everything. Politics, sports, current events. If you're in a vehicle circle of vehicles. So now, when I say act as if, you can act as if you belong because you're able to at least maintain enough of a conversation, if started or asked, to where you know what you're talking about. Sometimes let me backtrack. You learn enough until you know enough. When we started swimming, not everybody was thrown into the deep end. Not everybody dove into the deep end. But once you learn how the body floated and maneuvered in the water, you got a little braver. You went out a little further. Well, that's the same thing in life. It's the same thing in your everyday walk and talk. The more you learn, the more you become comfortable in certain areas, the more you are able to venture further out. And it could be further out of your comfort zone. Now you're around people that, wow, I never thought I'd be in a room with these type of people. Okay, you're there now. Let's say you're there, you're in that room. Now the whole, again, act as if. Act as if you belong there. Act as if you are that next young CEO. Act as if you're that next star athlete, that next musical prodigy, whatever it may be. I also tell people, be ready, because when you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. And how many of you have been around somewhere and you hear someone say, oh, well, I'm trying to sing, not knowing that there's a producer or a record exec or somebody right there, and they say, hey, well, let me hear something. Oh, well, well, I wasn't prepared today. How many of you have been around people that say, hey, I'm an athlete, I'm trying to play ball, not knowing that there's a scout in the room, or, so-and-so knows so-and-so, and they say, well, hey, run a 40 for me. Oh, well, I can't do that today. I ain't stretched. You get my point? Stay ready. You don't have to get ready. When you stay ready, that builds your confidence. My son was an all-state linebacker last year. Very proud of him. He's got a state championship ring already, going into his senior year. And I tell him, you have been blessed with athletic ability. It's in your DNA. It's a part of who you are, and you've put work in. But sometimes I can tell he's still somewhat unsure of himself when he's out there playing. Now, he can fly around, but it's like there's certain times where he is, well, I definitely won't say lost. Definitely wouldn't say that. But as an athlete myself and someone who's played the game at the highest level, I can look and see certain things that I critique him on. And I tell him, it's not that daddy is always trying to beat you down, by no means, but I'm trying to polish you. If I praise you for everything that you do right, and that's all I do, then you'll never understand what you did wrong to correct it. Now, on the flip side is, if I'm always beating you down about what you do wrong and not praising you any, then that can be stifling as well. But with him, I tell him, your confidence, you're not playing yet with that true confidence. And that confidence comes from knowing your position, knowing your assignments, knowing your plays like the back of your hand. Now, when game time comes, you know it all. You can fly around, have fun. You don't have to second guess yourself. And it's the same way with those of us that are in business or whatever other field you may be in. By knowing your craft, knowing your assignments, knowing those around you, you're able to walk with a confidence. And you're not on guard to, oh, what if they ask me this? Or what if this comes up? No. Now, let's jump into that cockiness. Yeah, I'm the shit. I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that. Now, because I'm self-promoting in such a way, if it ever comes out that, hey, show me this or prove this, and I can't, then that cockiness has just blown me up. So it's one of those to where you have to gain that confidence. The swagger is going to come. It don't have to be a out loud swagger. You don't have to be sagging and dipping when you walk. But men, when we walk with your head held high. Walk with a purpose. Walk and show that confidence. And that swag will be right there with you. With that being said, I hope you all are having a beautiful day. It's not as warm out today as it was the last few days. Actually been raining the past few, but we're gonna still get it in. I look forward to your comments, your feedback. As usual, please like, share, and subscribe. And I wish you all the best. Till next time with Uncle D, take care.